Hopefully you guys don't mind the fan. I know it doesn't look normal for like video purposes, but hey, it's my room and I want my fan on. And plus, we need the fan on because the heat was on at this New Hampshire race, and that's the most cringiest line I've ever said. I'm not saying that ever again. Jesus Christ. Okay, but for real, New Hampshire. A track that I've always liked driver wise, but racing or fan wise, maybe it's a weird track. It's like I put it in the Richmond category of is it a short track? Is it not a short track? It kind of races like a short track sometimes. It's interesting most of the time when it comes to New Hampshire. But let's just get right into it. Not going to waste any time. Let's pull up the race results and talk about the race. Actually, before that, spoiler alert, because usually I don't show the race results like super early, but I'm going to do that this time. So, spoiler alert, if you don't know the race results and want to go watch a clip or something of wait, why are you even watching this if you haven't watched the race? Anyways, yeah, whatever. Here's the race results. He finally won this year. Jesus, it took him 55 years, and he finally did it. He finally won a race, and it was in exciting fashion for NBC, always getting the best finishes. Again, something else I really need a scientific experiment on as to why NBC gets the best finishes. But it was a one-on-one battle between Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin towards the end of the race. Not the two drivers. I thought that they were going to battle it out towards the end because at the beginning it looked like Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski maybe were really quick, and maybe even Eric Jones could get up there, Martrex Jr. as well, but he had a little bit of issues that we will talk about when we go down the race results. But the end of the race, let's just talk about it right away. Coming to one lap to go. I think it was it Hemrick or Dylan? It was some sort of lap car. I don't know if it was Dylan or Hemrick. Both of them had damage throughout the race, but it was one of the RCR cars, I think, that got Harvick a little bit into the line he didn't want to run, going through 3 and 4 on the second to last lap, and that got Denny Hamlin to get right to his bumper. And then Hamlin did the right thing. In turn 1, he bumped and failed, unfortunately, but usually it wouldn't fail. It was the right move to make. It was the bump and run that usually works, but and to be fair, it did work. He did get to the inside of Harvick. He did move Harvick up the track a little bit. He had him set up for 3 and 4 to run him up the track or something, but it seemed like Hamlin he lost a little bit of grip trying to cut the car down, and he wasn't able to get the run coming out of the corner. And then he decided to go to the outside instead of following Harvick right into the corner and trying the bump again. It was an interesting call for Hamlin to go to the outside. He said in his post-race interview he wanted to do it the right way, which is commendable. Yes, you do it the right way. You try going around the outside. Thing about modern-day NASCAR now, and still was like this back in the day too, it's not anything different, is that when you put yourself on the outside, you are basically giving the inside car control. I mean, that's why in Martinsville, when we do a bumper run, you want to bump the car up the track, and you cut down, and then you run the car up the track, or anything like that. You want to be in control. If you're the car on the inside, you're in control. And so when he put himself on the outside in 3 and 4, at that point it was kind of written, because he's going up against Harvick. He's not going up against someone like Mark Martin. He's not going up against, let's see, even maybe Truex, maybe. Those guys race really, really clean and don't really race with a lot of contact. Harvick's gonna body you. He's not going to leave it clean. He's gonna do anything to win the race, and he did exactly what I thought he would do, and what he should do is Harvick just ran Hamlin up the track, ran him out of room, and Hamlin backed out of it. A solid short track finish. Really, no complaints. If anyone's complaining, that's a very solid finish there. I like the intricacies of both drivers' motives and stuff. I think the fan backlash over the years on Denny Hamlin played a part in why he was very careful, because of a certain incident that he got a lot of hate for. And he didn't want that stuff coming back to him in the playoffs, which is the smart move. We're not in the playoffs yet. And so you want to not make too many enemies, especially when one of them is as rough and rigid as Kevin Harvick. So you don't want to piss him off. So he did the right thing, and it just didn't work out. I think if he had a second chance, I think Hamlin would have put himself on the bottom lane. I know the bottom lane is not faster at New Hampshire, but you could have run him up the track. You could have hit him again, and just tried to find a way to do it without wrecking him. And that's how the short track racing goes. That was a true short track battle there. By the way, the car said 750 horsepower, and they actually had you had to drive them up off the corners, and you had to use the brakes as well and the gas. Just saying, NASCAR. Just saying. You had to use both pedals, like the throttle and the brake, and you had to decide. The driver had to decide what to do. It wasn't necessarily because of air. The driver had to decide put it in his own hands with 750 horsepower. 750 horsepower with drive off and actually have control of the car. That's NASCAR. Anyways, yeah, so that is the finish of New Hampshire. Let's go down the results. So you see Harvick, you see Hamlin. Eric Jones, I don't know what to say about Eric Jones, man. It's he's talented. He gets really good finishes. It's just like he's not competing for wins. I see this man in the top 5 a lot, and it's just like, I don't know. There's something, I can't put my finger on it. It's just, I don't know. I think he just needs to compete for wins. I don't know. Ryan Blaney finishes in 4th. He had a solid run all day. Matt the Bandetto, Burrito out here had a really good day. Burrito, Guido, whatever you want to call him. He had a really good day. I'm not even surprised. I don't really need to say anything. I mean, we all know how good of a driver he is. You guys all know how much I want him to be in the top ride. So, I mean, I don't know how much I need to keep pushing it. Put the guy in the top ride, he'll do just fine. He's a heck of a race car driver, so just going to keep waiting on that. Truex fights his way back from 6th after having a issue with Clint Boyer, I can't speak, earlier on in the race when Boyer got squeezed there and then squeezed Truex into the wall and they made some contact, but both were able to continue on. Truex had not too much damage, so that was fine. Ryan Newman, the man I thought he actually let Truex go one time during the race, and I was overjoyed, as you could tell by my tweet on Twitter. But then I realized he went down a cylinder and he didn't actually let him go. And that made me sad because I'm still waiting for the day I see Ryan Newman let someone go. I don't feel like I can die happy while he is still in the sport and not doing it. I just need to see it once. That's all. But really solid run for Ryan Newman in all seriousness with a 7th place finish. Kyle Busch in 8th, to be honest, thought he might win it halfway through. And then he hit the wall with I think it was a flat tire. He got loose or something like that. And hit the wall, then came back, and then hit the wall again, came back. And finished 8th. Like I say, Kyle Busch is a heck of a race car driver. Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, the 2 Penske boys, along with, Ryan in 4th, but the 2 Penske guys, 9th and 10th. Keselowski could have done more, but it is what it is. Almirola, Byron, Menard, Bowman, and Buescher. Alex Bowman in 14th. To be honest, it's probably a success. Hendrick Motorsports had probably one of the worst weekends you could ever have as an organization. And so Byron and Bowman brought it home. But Bowman was literally in Jimmy Johnson's backup car. So that's a success for him after everything he went through. Buescher in 15, solid run for the 37. Dillon in 16, solid run for the 13. McDowell, solid run for the 34. In 17th, Kurt Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Clint Boyer. Daniel Suarez had an odd incident when Chase Elliott, I think water started leaking from Elliott, and then it went to the track. And then Suarez got into it and then slid up into Hemrick, and they both wrecked because of Chase Elliott's leaking engine. And so that was unfortunate for Suarez. And then from 21st on, the rest of the results, towards the end, you will see a couple of big names. I mean, can we call Jimmy Johnson a big name anymore? I mean, the guy doesn't freaking run well, except for the one race in Chicago, which made me super happy. But Chase Elliott in 29th, Jimmy Johnson in 30th, Ricky Stenhouse. He had a interesting let's say, scenario with Eric Jones, and apparently Eric Jones has one coming, but Ricky Stenhouse got some contact with Eric Jones, and then Stenhouse's tire blew, hit the wall really hard. Larson had a few incidents as well. Austin Dillon, a few tire incidents as well, but Larson tried going underneath Bowman and just, I don't know, there wasn't really a lot of room, so he was just trying to force it, and it didn't work out, and so all these guys had trouble back here in the back. And for Chase Elliott in 29th, I don't remember the last good race he's had. He had that streak for a while, for it was like a month, where he was finishing 5th, top 5, and now he's just not finishing at all. He's had a few, this doesn't count as a DNF, but a few technical DNFs. One last week, one this week, a few bad races. I think Daytona was a wreck, and just a few other stuff. So not good for Elliott lately, and so they need to pick up the pace. And overall for Hendrick Motorsports, to be fair, I mean, for everyone at Hendrick Motorsports this weekend, just scrap it off. That was a terrible weekend. But overall, the race, New Hampshire divides a lot of opinion, because there's this thing about NASCAR fans where they really want passing. That's why we have the ridiculous, stupid, full throttle package of terribleness that I hate, and all, racing enthusiasts hate. It's not racing. Anyways, the thing about New Hampshire is it is hard to pass. And I think sometimes something you have to explain to NASCAR fans is that for a good race to happen, it does have to be hard to pass. You just need to find the right method of hard to pass. And what I mean by that is Kentucky is completely different from New Hampshire. when you say it's hard to pass at Kentucky, it's because the second you get 2/10 behind someone and you run in their tire tracks, you go straight. That's stupid. No one likes that. It's pathetic, and it's just not fun when aero means everything. So that's one type of hard to pass, which is what you don't want. The other type of hard to pass is when you're just basically, it's like a Martinsville kind of style, Old Bristol kind of style, Richmond kind of style, where yes, aero plays a part. Like at New Hampshire, aero does play a part. You do have aero push and stuff. But you have a third lane, and you have a first lane. You have lanes to choose, and it is not impossible to make a pass. And air doesn't play everything into it. You can enter high and cut low and make a run on someone, set the pass, move them up. That's a thunderstorm behind me. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that type of hard to pass is the type of passing you need for a good race. Because if everyone could just pass everyone, and then Steve O'Donnell comes out with this, well, green flag statistics, we had so much green flag passing. Bullshit with your statistics. That's not what creates good racing. I could go and run full throttle everywhere, and it could be a slingshot battle at Michigan, right? Every single lap, the leader changes hands. That's not true racing. I mean, once I get in the lead, I know I'm a sitting duck, and then the other guy's going to pass me, and then I get to the lead again, the other guy's going to pass me again, and then they need help to pass me, and then if 4 guys team up against me, then I go back to 5th. That's not, what the hell is that? So we introduce more short tracks, or more tracks that drive like a short track, like New Hampshire, and again, sometimes New Hampshire is not that great of a race because of certain instances, but you have the more horsepower. You have the ability to drive up off the corner. You have the ability to use both the brake pedal and the gas pedal. You know, there's a reason why cars have both of them and we race them. And so you want to use both pedals, and then you drive up on someone, and you try then put it in the driver's hands and see what they do. In this case, Denny Hamlin did a good job of not wrecking someone, but then you can create headlines. Let's say if Denny Hamlin dumps Kevin Harvick, and then you have a fight, and then you have what you want. So, just saying, NASCAR, it's really not hard to figure out, guys. It seriously isn't. So please stop with your data analyzing, green flag passing bullshit, and understand what good racing is. Thank you. Sorry, guys, just a little bit annoyed. A little frustrated. But glad we got a good race, and just waiting for the playoffs to start. That is really what it is. I think next week is Pocono, so that's going to be blah, because we literally just went to Pocono. And then after that, I think, is Bristol. So we finally get a short track. And then we just kind of continue on. Watkins Glen is in the schedule somewhere. Indy's the last race. Michigan, one more. And then we finally get I'm just waiting for the playoffs. I mean, really nothing else matters at this point. So we're just waiting for the playoffs, hoping to get good finishes. That is 4 straight? I mean, I'm pretty sure every NBC race this year has had a good finish. I mean, Daytona got rained out, but the first one, and then last week, and then this week, all good finishes. So, again, don't know how NBC does it. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. It is at RealRadman. What are your opinions on the race? What are your opinions on anything I talked about, where I kind of went on a little rant about their whole data analytic passing bullshit, which is, yeah, I've been holding that in for some time. But it was a very solid race. Middle part to before the end was a little bit, it dipped down a little bit, but that's because, you know, NASCAR races are long, it happens. And so 8 out of 10, you know, 8.5 out of 10. It was a solid race. New Hampshire is a solid track when the drivers can put in their control, and I like the fact that they lead the second lane without the PJ1 grip, and so you just have this pick a lane and try to pass everyone. So just raced more like a short track tonight, and that was good. I will see you guys later. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hopefully you didn't get bothered by the fan that continues to spin, and if you are high and you are watching this video and you keep seeing that, I'm sorry, because you're probably tripping out right now. But it's okay. See you guys later. Peace out.